Welcome back, guys, and let's start with our first gesture, which is the tap gesture. And inside Xcode, it's gonna be UI tap gesture recognizer. So just be familiar with the name. So just to recap, the tap gesture is actually the single or the simple tapping, and of course I told you that it can be with more than one finger or more than one touch. So first of all, let's go to our Xcode and implement this one. Xcode, create a new project, and let's call it a single view application. Let's call it tab or tab project. So press on next, create it on your desktop or wherever you want to create it on. So let's go to our storyboard. Okay, so this one will be about the tap gesture, which is located over here. Okay, but before that we have to um, let's say decide what is our object that we want to apply this tap gesture on. So I prefer to start with images. So I'm gonna take an image. You can do that on your Mac with the combination of three buttons, which are Command, Shift, and 4, the number 4. So you'll get this one, and you can crop the area you want, and that's it. So now I have this image. Let's call it my Twitter. And of course I'm gonna drag this one and insert it inside my supporting files in Xcode. And of course don't forget to copy items to check this one. Okay, so now I have my image. I have to insert an image view, and I previously explained about this one, so I'm not gonna repeat everything. So this is my image view, and I will choose my Twitter as the pic inside it. Let's try the aspect fill. Okay, so this is it. I'm gonna center it. Okay, so this is actually my image that will take the tap gesture. Now we'll have to do actually 4 steps, and you should memorize these steps because these steps will be used in all of our different gestures. Now let's start with our tap gesture. First of all, the first step is drag an instance of your tap gesture located inside your library and place it on your image. So actually now all what we have done so far is dragging this one into our image. So our image will receive a tap gesture. What is step number 2? Step number 2 is very easy. Just press on your image and make sure that interaction here, user interaction enabled, and multiple touch enabled. So these are important to get your image so that your image can recognize these gestures. Okay, this is number 2. Now let's go to number 3, which is the code. And we're not gonna write instead a lot of code, just one sentence, one line of code. Let's use our assistant editor. In our .h file, we have to declare a method, IBAction. Let's call it handle my tab. It's just a name, and the argument that it's gonna receive are of type UI tap gesture recognizer star, and close the bracket, and let's call it recognizer. So actually we have this method in our .h file. This one, just copy and paste it in your .m file to be able to implement it. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this one. I actually like to delete all of these except for the view did load, because I'm gonna use it later on in initializing my variables and any other method. Okay, so I just copied and pasted over here. So it's IB action, handle my tab. The arguments are of type UI tab gesture recognizer, and I called it recognizer. Just open these parentheses, curly braces, and implement your code here. Okay, so this is the area where we're gonna implement our code. Now I'm gonna do some little thing here, dragging a label over here. Actually, I want to press this to tap on this image, and whenever I tap on this, I want this label to change, so it can indicate that I have pressed on this image. You can do anything in this area. So in this area, I'm supposed to change the label, the text of the label. Now, of course, we've learned so far that we have first of all to declare our label in our .h file, and of course I like to call it my label. I'm sorry if I'm going fast with this, but I'll be repeating the same process in the next tutorials about covering all other gestures. So go to your .m file, and now we can implement our mylabel by doing this mylabel.text equals ouch. So whenever this, and of course a semicolon, so whenever this appears on my label, I have to know that this image or this bird, if you want, has been touched. Okay, so the fourth step is really simple. Also is simple. Just control drag from this. Press hold your control button and drag until you reach the main view controller. Between these ones, you'll find handle my tab, which we have already declared and implemented in our code. So I'm just gonna run this first and explain what happened. So let's just run it to ensure that everything is working in the correct way, and I'll be explaining later on how did it work, or I'm gonna explain the relation between your code and the interface. Okay, so of course my slow simulator is taking some time. Okay, so here's my program running, my application, and I'm supposed to press on this one, and ouch. So everything is working. Now just for a recap, first of all, it's a bit messy here. First of all, we dragged our gesture recognizer over our image. We ensured that our image is both user interaction enabled and multiple touch enabled. The third step was just implementing it in our .h file, adding this method, and and in our .m file we implemented it by changing the label. So whenever a touch occurs, this label will change. So actually the first touch will make the difference, and other touches will be handled, but nothing important will change in our code. So that was the third step, and the fourth step was control drag from your tab gesture to your main view controller and choose the method we've implemented in our code. So this is all for the tab gesture, and I'll be giving you some more examples in the next tutorial about two fingers, tapping with two fingers or more, and the double click or triple click concept. So hope you enjoyed this one, and okay, I'll show you in the next tutorial. Okay, let me show you now. So remember the 5 steps I want you to memorize them, so to be able to do anything with gestures. So the first one is dragging your instance. The second one is enabling the user interaction enable and multiple touch. Third step was implementing in your code in your .h file and .m file the method you want. Okay, and the fourth one was just dragging and choosing that method you've implemented in step number 3. So this is all for these 4 steps, and hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.